It is the victory moment with CK. Join the show as we chat victory in the midst of the uncertainty in life, because each day can be a victory moment if you don't quit, if you don't give up, and if you don't let go. Well, hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be on time that you may be chiming in. It is time for the victory moment with CK. But see, I'm not by myself today, and I'm excited for my guest that's going to join us and that's going to connect with us and just share his expertise. And I am just excited and honored to connect with the individuals that I have been connecting with. BSN has been showing up, and y'all understand more about that when we actually connect. So before I introduce him and before I could bring him on, we're going to talk about what is, basically, we're going to talk about, connecting, as far as we're going to talk about that what we call the being with each other, as far as emotional intelligence. I was trying to think of the correct information that I had already stated, but no here or there. That's what we call about live now. Just trying to think through everything, making sure I'm saying it correctly. But anyway, let's get this going. Let's get this started. Welcome to the victory moment as we talk about emotional intelligence, and we talk about four important aspects in reference to emotional intelligence. So welcome to the victory moment as my guest co-host that's going to be joining me is my guest co-host that's going to be joining me is Rodney Burris, and I am, like I said, again excited. So let's start the victory moment with CK. We can, because the time is definitely far spent. Rodney C. Burris is a remarkable catalyst for emotional intelligence training and empowerment. He's a corporate trainer, three-time author, motivational speaker, and master of ceremony. I'm excited to have him to join me as we connect on the victory moment. So we're going to bring him on now as we proceed, and we're about to chat it up. Welcome. Let me take this off the screen, and as we welcome,
Hello.
as we welcome Rodney. Hi there.
Hello, Comic King. Hello, everybody.
You see, I get me stuck for words, right? You see,
We rocking though. We making it
turn it
happen.
up a little bit, sir.
Um, we didn't have
I know, right?
we had all sorts of technical difficulties getting on, but here we go. Here we go. We're gonna make it happen. Let's do it.
Exactly. We not letting nothing stop us. And that's how you have to be. And I like how we just stuck it through and didn't allow, what
Right.
we would call the circumstances to
That's
stop
right.
us.
That's
And I
right.
think we're gonna talk a little bit about that today, tonight.
Yes.
Because we definitely can't allow anything to stop when you are doing something to progress or to help someone along the journey. So tell them a little bit more about you
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
as I
Yeah. I am Rodney C. Burris. I am one of the nation's top trainers in emotional intelligence. And what that means is I work with a lot of people in our federal spaces just around understanding our own self better. Relationships are about the better me, each of us being the better me, right? Not the better just Rod, but whoever I am in the mirror, whether in that relationship could be with my cousin, my bestie, my grandma, my boo thing, my significant other, my child, the person at Wendy's, the person at Burger King, the person at the grocery store, my staff, my employees, my coworkers, my colleagues, in order to get the best out of them, how they're showing up, how they're treating us. What emotional intelligence theory has found over decades of research is as I become different and better, those relationships begin to interact with me in different and better ways that mark, that measure. And sometimes those relationships fall off. And if we're not aware of like where this person go, or why I don't talk to them as much, if we're not aware that we are on this journey, that sometimes people are falling away, and that's a part of it, we can start CK our own cycle right back over, right? And then we find ourselves big, knees all the way up here, sitting in a little desk back in the second, third, fourth grade, because we didn't realize that we had reached graduation from that phase of life, right? So emotional intelligence is all about being aware that we are reaching certain phases, that we are aware of going back into familiar cycles, that we are aware of how we are contributing to our good, our bad. And so if we really, really, really want the best out of our people, we could tell them there's nothing wrong with telling somebody how to treat you. There's nothing wrong with letting your expectations and desires be known. That's healthy, right? It's good to speak truth to power, as we say. But we only can get as successful with that as we grow and develop ourselves. And that's what emotional intelligence theory is all about.
Yes, sir. And you know, I never really knew of what you were talking about as far as emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite obviously I'm not the expert, but in my own, because I was gonna talk with you,
Yeah.
I just had a quick connection with it. And this is emotion is a set of skills that can help you in different aspects of your job and as a leader.
That's right.
And we're going to talk about that. And you started talking about it.
Mhm.
And what connected to me is, as you started sharing about it, is how we're the progressing, how handling things, and emotional intelligence connects with so many things.
Mhm.
There's a certain perspective of life that emotional intelligence is very important.
That's right.
And I said, and you already started it. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add when
Yeah.
it comes to emotional intelligence.
So
Before we go
so
into the first, what we call the first essential, one of the essentials of emotional intelligence.
okay, got you. So emotional intelligence covers four areas: understanding how I feel as the individual for each of us, right? Secondly, what do I do then based on my understanding of how I feel? For example, me, you, CK, we're at big old Sunday dinner at grandma's house, right? It's a big old everybody around, all the family, all the cousins, everybody around. I'm feeling cold. Everybody else fine. I'm freezing and it's making me agitated. That's my truth. There's nothing wrong with my truth. Feelings are feelings are feelings and they are valid. My behavior connected to my feelings is what I can be accountable for, right? So if I get up, y'all don't realize it's cold in here, I knock over some cups just so I can be seen and felt, I'm out of line, right? So the second of four is what do I do based on my understanding? That's the second. The third is everybody is just like me. Everybody gets sleepy. Everybody get hungry. Everybody go. We're all in the core. We're very much the same. So as I become better, CK, at feeling and being aware of how I actually feel in a moment, extend that to other people. That's called empathy. How might they feel if I was in their shoes? What would be going on inside of me given these same scenarios, especially if I grew up like them? especially if I had their situation, especially if my mom or dad did or didn't do like what happened to them. How would I really be in this space? Right? That's the third component. And then the fourth component is how we direct interactions based on those factors. Our ability to do that well
Right.
is indicative of our level of emotional intelligence.
Awesome. And we want to talk first about, and we briefly was sharing certain things, prior. And one of the things I want to talk about when it comes to, you know, emotional intelligence skills can help you navigate in leadership and life is your ability to perceive and express yourself. And you were just getting into that
Right.
with certain things, because a lot of times we really don't know how to express ourselves.
Yeah. Can I give you a prime example?
There's a fight.
It's a disconnect, right? So let me give you an example, CK, right? So
Mm.
I'm about to leave, right? Me and you, we hanging out. I'm about to leave. Hey, CK, you trying to go? Yeah, I'll go ride. Cool, we gonna get some food. You hungry? Yeah, we get some food. I'm hungry. Cool. You hungry? You hungry? What you want to eat? What you want to eat, CK? I don't. Most of the time we say that, right? So then here go me, right? Try to be a good little buddy in the whole situation. Cool. Hey, we can go. Want to get some seafood? They got like a nice little shrimp spot over here. I ain't really, cause my stomach with the shrimp. And cool, they got this Italian spot. They got this really nice lasagna. Lasagna can be a little heavy. They got this other little spot. They got these thin these Panera with zucchini, and they got the salads with it. Right? It's kind of light on it. I had because yesterday we had so much salad at the job, and I just cool. They got this dessert spot, smoothie, ice cream, all this. We could just get some, just kick back. But see, I ain't ate yet though, so I don't want to get dessert right now. Right now, I'm not saying no. I'm just okay. I got. Well, then, CK, what do you want? Ow! That right there is common to us all. And so if we don't know what the heck we want to put in our goddamn belly, a lot of times that's indicative of us not knowing what's going on in here. Homework, right? As we call it. This is the homework. And so if somebody say, hey, what's wrong with you? What you mad for? If we list, this is how we know we got some homework to do. And we always do. Everybody. We got homework when somebody asks us what's wrong with us, and we list off 50, 11 things. Because I'm sick of this. And then also when 10, 15, 20 things, 3, 4, 5 things is wrong, that's really an indicator that we don't know what's the singular thing driving. It might be as simple as we ain't sleep enough, we ain't ate enough, our blood sugar low. It might be that phone call that I was hoping I was going to get, that person that's special to me. And because that linchpin, like playing Jenga, you take that one special block, all the same. They the same shape, size, color, but one of them special. Two of them really important to me as a tower. My tower of emotions is my world gonna fall apart. And if that's normal, but the goal, CK, is for us to get increasingly better at realizing it was that block. It was that person that cut me off. It was that person that did whatever. And the next step beyond that is getting to the place of pre-knowing it, so I do a better job of protecting it. My feelings ain't good enough to handle this phone call. So let's say I keep putting me and you in a situation, right? Okay, so let's say Rodney ain't always so nice. Let's say Rodney ain't always so fun to talk to, and you done had one of them days, and you know how I am. Emotional intelligence says, I can't control that boy, but I can definitely control that. Right now, I ain't got it. I ain't got it all. That's emotional intelligence. And so instead of engaging, he better know the day to day. That's a choice. That's a choice. It's expensive. But the emotionally as we progress in our skills, right, and being emotionally intelligent, sometimes it's just removing, getting ahead of the situation, bringing a snack, scheduling a nap. So these are the things, and we do this with little kids. Little first graders, we make them kidding. We make them take naps. We make them eat snacks. We make them say please and thank you and stand in line. And then we lose it because I guess little humans are not the same as big humans, but we are human. We all have the same kind of things. And so one of the things that I appreciate, CK, in the federal government space, there used to be this term, and it's still out there, soft skills, right? How you interview, how you talk, how you get soft skills,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Right? Well,
Right.
soft skills,
Mm-hmm.
you know about soft skills, right? Well, they're changing the lingo from the term soft skills to the term power skills. Why? Because we're realizing
Wow.
this is the
Okay.
right. This is the stuff that makes it stick. Like I know how to do my job great, and we advance people based on how well they can move the widget, push the buttons, write the reports. But we don't advance people often on how well other folks like them, how well they lead and connect, how well they bring folks together. So we promote management, supervisor, leader, CEO, all the way up the ladder, people who are great at the job. But then we get this running thing that bosses don't care, that the CEOs at the why? Because as a society, as America, we progress based on how well you do the it and not how well we connect. And so, because the government in the federal space is seeing that, they bring in individuals like myself to train their senior leaders on we got to round this. COVID did that, CK. When quarantine
I,
happened,
yeah, I could imagine. I could
yeah,
imagine, right.
when everybody
Mm-hmm.
started
I could
going
only
home,
imagine.
yeah. And people see what happened was it wasn't just in the government, across jobs everywhere. People was like, oh, I ain't going back to work. How you gonna pay your bill?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that did not go back to work.
I ain't
I
going
mean,
back,
when
not
they
yet.
realized,
I ain't gonna go
right,
do that, right? And so because of that, people were saying it wasn't the money. We always thought money was the reason that people went to work, but once we were forced to really reevaluate, people was like, I'm gonna eat a sandwich
wasn't
instead.
money.
It's a relationship.
It
So yeah,
wasn't money, right? After a while, we realized, yeah, so when it comes to, and this is just my quick thought as we go into,
yeah, yeah,
our second thought, our second part of the discussion, that expressing yourself, and
yeah,
I like the what you use, and instead of us saying it from the beginning, this is what we want, or this is what we like, or this is what we don't like, we go
mhm,
around this whole game and table, and not really just express the simplicity of certain
yeah,
things, and it makes me sometimes like, really.
right, right.
Really.
Sometimes we
And
don't know.
as you get maturer in life, you see it from afar, and you realize, listen, this yeah, what are you doing? Yeah,
Right,
is it yes or no?
right.
There's no in between at this point. um and it has nothing, and I don't say nobody's getting old. I just said we're getting mature in age and
That's
so
right.
forth. Because some people take that as a, oh my God, you're getting mature, and things of that sort, when really truly, it's part of life.
That's
You
right. Right.
think?
That's right.
Is
That's
it
right.
just me? I'm just
No, no,
asking.
no. No, that's spot on. Muhammad Ali, one of my favorite quotes from Muhammad Ali. He said, a man that thinks at 50 what he thought at 30 wasted 20 years of his life. Right?
I'm
So,
not clear on why would you even want to keep thinking that same way. If
right?
you're growing and maturing, we're going to talk about developing and maintaining the next step, an ability to develop and maintain relationship.
Yeah.
And the reason why, that stuck out to me is because when you we are so emotional in reference to relationship. And a lot of times we let our emotions dictate a lot of things
Yeah.
when it comes to relationship.
Yes.
And like, something just happened like a little earlier, and I kind of was like, really? Come on. you know, whether it be with your parents, whether it
It
be with
doesn't
your sister,
matter.
your brother, right? Because everybody's always thinking of this other relational
The,
part with
the
a man and a,
romantic,
but
right?
it's more relationships than just a man and a woman
The
or
whole
dating
world is
someone.
full of relationships,
Right,
right?
full of relationships. At your job, guess what? That's
That's
relationship.
relationships. That's what
And
it is.
if you don't understand how to really deal with each thing in the perspective of your child, if you have a child, that
Yeah,
relationship is not the same as with your parents.
that's
It's
right.
different.
It's
you
different.
know?
It's always different. And you want to know something too. So my mom has a very great saying. She would always say, CK, you don't have to change friends if you realize that friends change, right? Real simple. You don't got to change friends if you realize that friends change. People gonna go
Mhm.
through their developments, their winter, summer, spring, fall. And like Muhammad Ali said, at 50, they're gonna be a little bit different individual than they were at 30 when y'all first started, right? Whatever it was. So what does that mean for me as the person that's trying to grow in emotional intelligence? Each of us, right? Trying to become different and better, different
In
and better,
relationship.
right? And have a relationship. Well, what that means is, and
I'm, I'm gonna I'm gonna let you take this now.
you ready? All right, I got this. Watch this, CK. So relationships are actually reflective. They're like mirror. You know what I mean? And so with that, if relationships are reflective like mirrors, what does a mirror give me? A mirror shows me the me that I can't see. When I'm outside and walking around, I don't know what I got on my cheek. I don't know what I got on my nose. I don't know what's on my forehead without a mirror. With a mirror, I can see those things, but walking around, I can't see that stuff, right? That's weird. Like it's not even possible. Well, our emotional self, the intangible part that we show everybody, that's why people be like, "What's wrong with you?" And you're like, "All right, what's wrong with you? Mean? What's wrong with you?" Even my whole way I'm coming across tell you something wrong with me, but I don't see it. So relationships are reflective. They allow us to see the me that I am. Understanding that, then the person that's growing in their skillfulness about being emotionally intelligent, CK. Well, what happened is this: if somebody is giving me a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of fun, a lot of negativity, a lot of whatever, I can get mad, I can react, I can respond, and all of that's normal. All of that is fine. All of that is a healthy part of life. On top of that, I can also take a moment. What space am I in that's causing this? Because what do we know? There's something out there in the world, CK, called universal laws. Universal laws happen everywhere. One of the universal laws is every action, we know it, has an equal and opposite. So whatever I'm getting from them, by definition of being on this planet, it must mean I am
You
giving
know
them
what?
something.
You know what? I'm gonna have to chime in that way. Listen, I'm gonna have to chime in on
Come
that
on,
part.
come on, come on.
Every action
Every action.
has a response and reaction, but you have to determine whether you're going to, how would I say it, respond or react.
Mm,
There's a difference in responding and reacting,
that's right.
and that's what I said earlier on. uh, I kind of allowed emotions in that mom daughter relationship
We
to,
all do. We all
yeah,
do.
and I had to catch myself and say, Carmen, um don't react, but respond.
Mm,
Understand that, and this is another thing when it comes to relationship. Somebody that's 90
hmm hmm
is not thinking the same way someone that's 20 or
That's right.
30
That's
is
right.
thinking.
That's right. That's right.
So it's not easy to do that all the time,
Right.
because
That's right.
sometimes it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And then you have to realize the same patience you want with them to have with you is the same patience you have to have with them.
I love that.
And this is it. Yeah,
I
pretty
love that.
much. The
You make
same
me think of
patience. If
the
you
same
want,
patience that I want, you want, we got to give it. Can I tell you a phrase that I learned? I learned this phrase, and it's kind of like magic. It's kind of like abracadabra. Let me explain. I know it sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Let me explain. Okay, so um, in my work, and CK, if we can, I would love to set up a time to if we can do a part two. Can we do that? Because we had the machine and the websites and the servers not
definitely.
cooperating with us today. So I
And the
would love to do.
extra, I know. I'm looking at the time. I know.
It was coming. They was coming at us
Yeah,
today. But CK,
definitely.
but I in the nature of my work, I move around the country a lot, and I'm around phenomenal leaders, school leaders, and corporation leaders and stuff like that. Well, what that allows me to do is take notes. That allows me to learn, and I learned this magical phrase that instantly raises emotional intelligence in the moment. Right? Okay, it's an 8-word phrase. Okay, it goes like this, and it's literally to your point. You reminded me of this. That's why I know you're good at what you do. So this is the phrase: if it were me, I would hope that. That's it. If
Oh,
it were me, I would
I
hope
would hope
that.
that. I like that.
And so
Mhm.
and so here's the deal. If I'm talking to my daughter, I'm talking to my mom, I'm talking to my coworker, I'm talking to my boo, I'm talking to my cousin, I'm talking to the cashier who got an attitude, I'm talking to the person behind me that's rushing me. I can react to all of those things.
Mhm.
Or I can begin to teach myself that when I get those kind of ideas, feelings, discomfort, whatever it is, use that as a lesson for me. That's my indicator. Hey, Rodney, you feel that? Rodney, you feel that? That's not just your normal mad agitation, whatever. That's your indicator. That's your teacher. That's your car engine light to let you know. Say your phrase, bro. Go into your space. Hit your superpower. What's your apricot? If it were me, I would hope that. And all of a sudden, what if they running late? What if they got some bad news? What if they've been on their feet all day? What if they feel like I'm being slow because they done told me 6, 7 times? What if? And if
What
there's a
if,
small
right?
possibility that what if could be a something, then we got to do what CK said. We got to extend that grace. It sounds so pretty and nice when funny looking people come on the show and say it, but the practice of it in real life, it gets a little bit better, gets a little bit easier. Then we get annoyed
Right.
all over again. It's a cycle, right? Winter, summer, spring, fall. Winter, summer, spring, fall. But year over year over year, we're still hitting growth spurts. It's still an upward trajectory, right? And so understanding this is such an integral part of life. I know I need to get out of here, CK.
Yes.
We teach people to make decisions based on thinking alone, as if feelings are not real or don't count. And that's like teaching people to breathe by only blowing out and never taking it in. That doesn't make sense. Life, that nothing, everything is equal and opposite action, reaction. If there's a blowout, there's because there is a coming in. Logic, by definition, is devoid of the human component of touch, of feeling, of emotion. We don't exist without it. We have a left hand and a right hand.
Mhm.
So emotional intelligence is about getting better and better at integrating so that I'm making comprehensive choices and not just responding, reacting to life. So anyway, I would love to come back and talk about this with you.
We're going to finish up and
Yeah.
we're going to close out for now. And
Okay.
then we are going to definitely finish out the last two parts.
Yes.
Listen, it was a pleasure having, Rodney Burris, C. Burris
I miss you, Burris.
on the show. Listen, I knew that it was gonna be deep, and I can't wait. And we will talk about the next part of
Part
part
two.
two. So we
Right.
thank everybody that has joined us. We thank everybody that has connected. And those that are gonna catch it on Roku and all the other networks that I'll be working that I work with. And as you can see, it says BHC Media Network. Listen, I am excited. I'm grateful for connecting with BHS BHS and
Uh-huh.
also B Black
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 Speakers Network.
Exactly, Black Speakers Network. Listen, we connected through that and we are just excited about it. But we're going to continue to talk about emotional intelligence on another episode of the Victory Moment with CK because it's all about winning. And
Yes,
when
sir.
you realize that how you're handling things emotionally and all of those things, it connects with winning, and
Yes,
it
sir.
connects with winning in your leadership. It connects with winning in life. So we thank you and we appreciate you for joining us, and we say have a good evening. We say have a good evening, and join us back. Connect
Absolutely.
with Rodney, and we're gonna put more. He's gonna talk more about his detail and things of that sort once we come back. So we're excited and we continue to thank you for have joined us as he had to step away. This but have a great evening, everyone, morning, good afternoon, as we continue, and as I'm just excited to continue to be and have and every day can be a victory moment. So have a good one, everyone, and thank you again for joining us.